What was weird to do in 1999 but is totally normal in 2019? Not have a home phone. In 2005 my sis spoke about getting rid of their landline and just going with cell phones. I thought she was nuts and people wouldn't be able to contact her. Clearly she was a time traveler. Give strangers on the internet your real name and location. Then get into a vehicle with them when they arrive. OSL? Spend the majority of the day staring at your phone. I mean, Snake was pretty kick-ass. Selfies. Imagine having a photo album developed in 1999 and the whole album was just of you taking pictures of yourself. They'd think you had no friends and were a little strange. Perfectly normal now. A couple months ago I was in a touristy place and saw 3 people trying to take an awkward selfie of themselves in the background. I offered to take the picture for them. I was turned down. Arriving to the airport 3 hours before. My dad used to fly for his work a lot. Having only hand luggage. Generally. He'd basically walk in like he was trying to catch a bus. Use a mobile phone in a concert instead of a lighter. I absolutely hate that. Sure. You don't burn the hell out of your finger. But it just isn't beautiful. It looks tacky, so what's the point of doing it at all? Talk on the phone while on the internet. Look at this fancy pants. Walk down the street talking to yourself. That still gets me sometimes. I asked a Walmart employee for help finding something. And she just started talking to a nearby Tupperware tub. Asking it if they had any pool noodles left in stock. She turned out to just be crazy. But that technology still surprises me sometimes. Stalkers had to go outside to stalk people. How uncivilized. Photograph your dinner then publicly display it for all to see. Not true. We had most of our meals printed and framed on a weekly basis. Some were done in oils if we had a journeyman artist staying with us. We rotated them out on a monthly basis and used them to decorate the great hall where we dined. When I was a kid, Butt Liker was a top shelf. Use only in case of emergency insult. Now, it's a selectable option on most dating websites. Butt Liker. Our prices have never been lower. Send people dong pics. Breaking out the Polaroid. Going to the post office. Waiting 3-5 days in hopes they got it. I actually sent a dong pic to my entire address book once, cost me a fortune in stamps. Video conferencing was possible but very rare in the year 1999, but in 2019 everybody does it. Masturbating to Ariana Grande. I thought Ariana Grande was a font. Talking on a cell phone in public. It was considered annoying and kind of a flex. I remember being at a grocery store and some girl just gabbing away on her cell phone about nothing in particular. Just chit chat stuff. And my friend and I just thought it was the most annoyingly insufferable thing we had ever seen. Like, you can't wait until you get home to make a call, you are that important? Oh my lord. That sounds insanely expensive. Who's she showing off for? Chatting about nothing SMH. Side note. Remember when internet on cell phones was new and you would accidentally hit a button and panic trying to turn it off before it turned on and charged you? Alternatively, I do miss being able to snap my phone shut if I change my mind about a text and cancel it before it went out. Smoke from a USB stick. You wouldn't download a cigarette. Charge your cigarette and your book with your computer. Shopping from home. Talking to electronics and having them answering you. Being an influencer. Ordering a single cheeseburger for delivery. Getting into a stranger's car when it doesn't have a taxi light. Meeting an anti-vaxxer IRL. Watching videos on the internet without ads. I could go on. Shopping from home. I see someone never experience the late night QVC knife sword guys. Hook up with someone you meet in an app. Clearly you've never heard of Ike. Watching porn about ducking your sister. Yeah. Where's the good old-fashioned wholesome porn featuring incompetent tradesmen and women who can't pay for a service they haven't received? Taking off your shoes while going through security at the airport. For a real answer. Talking about mental health so openly. There were times where discussing things like depression, anxiety, autism, gender dysphoria, eating disorders, PTSD, bipolar disorder were super taboo, controversial and generally kept pretty quiet. The progress we've made towards understanding, accepting and treating a lot of mental health issues and disorders is incredible. It's worth noting that a large reason for this is lots of money can be made from various mental health treatments, but progress is progress. We're entering a renaissance period for mental health and understanding the brain. Of course there will be issues. We're seeing it already with corporate greed, doctors with conflicting interests, but I'm really hoping that we're going to end up with a much better understanding of what makes us and hopefully effective treatments or even cures for the countless issues that have held us back for millennia. People romanticize the 90s, but honestly, the nail that stuck out got hammered down. If you had any issues or were not like the others, you buried that shit. Going to a store to buy legal cannabis. Film people in public randomly. Look up heavy metal parking lot. It was footage of tailgate parties at a concert in the 80s. People actually wanted to be filmed, as camcorders were so rare that they thought they were gonna be on TV. Talk to yourself while walking. I mean, there were cell phones then too, but generally hands-free were not very prevalent, and cell phones were huge, so someone on Bluetooth would look very weird. Do anything but make calls on your phone. Go outside for a cigarette. Edit. I'm in the UK. Smoking has been banned in every enclosed public building and inside the workplace since 2007. I quit several years back, but sitting in the pub and smoking today would be very strange regardless. Right, the date is 2019. Amazing. Playing video games as an adult. I remember my father making fun of my brother-in-law for playing PS1, Medal of Honor. He was 26 at the time. I play 2-3 hours daily and my pops just doesn't get it. Edit. Spelling. And to everyone saying it wasn't weird to me. Yeah, you're a outlier lol, or likely worked in office or IT. I was 3 in 1990 and a preteen at the end of the decade, and I knew no adults who played anything on console. Maybe growing up in rural Kentucky had me at a blue-collar disadvantage. I knew of older kids and some young adults who played on PC. Games such as Quake, Half-Life, Doom, Castle Wolfenstein, but once again they were outliers. It's amazing in 20 years gaming going from a market it was to enclosing more cash than any other sector entertainment industry. Maybe I'm wrong and this is just anecdotal to my area and people I was around. As a 1979 kid, I was into video games in the 80s, early 90s. Then dropped them in my teen years because I was too old. Around 1999 I think was a time when I went over to a friend's house who had a PlayStation and played some games, and just thinking, wow, I can still do this? I can just play these games and have fun even though I'm grown up? I think I read later that PlayStation came to dominance in the video game market by realizing there was an entire generation who had played games as a kid and would be susceptible to continuing to have games marketed to them as adults. Talk to your friends while shitting. Not have cable or a landline phone. Taking pictures of yourself. Seeing a therapist. True. Back then if you were younger and admitted going to a therapist, I think more people thought you were a bit on the psychotic side or that there was something drastically wrong with you. PC gaming using a Voodoo trademark sign graphics card. The answers on here are hilarious. 1999 wasn't the dark ages. People have kids and be the one expected to keep them entertained. Tell people that it's okay to not vaccinate their kids. Get into an actual argument about the shape of the planet Earth. Have some random company located in who knows where know everything about your social life. Your high school actually devoting budgetary dollars towards gunfire fortification. Modifying your vehicle to produce more billows of black smoke. Regularly send your exact physical location to someone who may or may not sell that information to third parties. Have some part of your private information leaked, stolen, and or lost due to some technical glitch in a rushed product and have zero legal recourse on the person who was responsible for that. Marital scandals of political figures. IDK man. I think 1999 saw quite a few Marshall scandals. You know, the one that almost got a president removed from office? Plan for your future lol. Y2K was supposed to kill us all or whatever. Is this pasta? Because if not, I'm really impressed. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can watch together.